You ever try to explain this to someone, and they just don't get it?
First game I watched, didn't know the score, just knew I'd be back for more. Cold hands, hot cheeks in the hallway glow, a stranger yelling shoot from the row. I kept score on a folded receipt, saw my name in the bounce of the seats. You laugh like I've been here before, then I knew, yeah I knew for sure. Now my heart runs there every time you call. One small spark turns into it all. I'm back for more, I'm back for more. Same old roar, I'm back for more. You call, I run, you smile, I fall. I'm back for more, through it all. Now I know the plays by the way they bend, know the look when the season leans. Got a worn-out jacket.
You ever try to explain this to someone, and they just don't get it?
First game I watched, didn't know the score, just knew I'd be back for more. Cold hands, hot cheeks in the hallway glow, a stranger yelling shoot from the row. I kept score on a folded receipt, saw my name in the bounce of the seats. You laugh like I've been here before, then I knew, yeah I knew for sure. Now my heart runs there every time you call. One small spark turns into it all. I'm back for more, I'm back for more. Same old roar, I'm back for more. You call, I run, you smile, I fall. I'm back for more, through it all. Now I know the plays by the way they bend, know the look when the season leans. Got a worn-out jacket on the backseat now, in a secret grin I wear out loud. You still ask why I care this much, like it's just a game, just luck. But I saw my life in that opening tip, one quick move and I was in it. Now my heart runs there every time you call. One small spark turns into it all. I'm back for more, I'm back for more. Same old roar, I'm back for more. You call, I run, you smile, I fall. I'm back for more, through it all. Maybe I can't explain it right, maybe that's the whole damn truth. Some things hit once then stay, like a name carved through. I'm back for more, I'm back for more. Same old roar, I'm back for more. You call, I run, you smile, I fall. I'm back for more, through it all.
You ever try to explain this to someone, and they just don't get it?
First game I watched, didn't know the score, just knew I'd be back for more. Cold hands, hot cheeks in the hallway glow, a stranger yelling shoot from the row. I kept score on a folded receipt, saw my name in the bounce of the seats. You laugh like I've been here before, then I knew, yeah I knew for sure. Now my heart runs there every time you call. One small spark turns into it all. I'm back for more. I'm back for more. Same old roar. I'm back for more. You call, I run. You smile, I fall. I'm back for more. Through it all.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Old stories, living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air. Feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. We rise again. We rise again. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. This is our name. This is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame. Just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air. Feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. We rise again. We rise again. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. This is our name. This is our skin. Let the whole ground shake. Let the whole world know we don't chase a moment. We are the hope. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd.
From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air. Feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. We rise again. We rise again. Blue till the end. Blue till the end. This is our name. This is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame. Just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air. Feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't blood cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the home. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stays even through the storm.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. And for Chelsea fans, I'd say probably not, because a lot of Chelsea fans will be, you guessed it, bitter, because Arsenal won the league. Yeah, but we got to get over it and move on to supporting our clubs. Or maybe if we have complaints about how they won it, the manner and you can say the way they won it, the things they got away with. I don't want to get into that. Honestly, they won it, they deserved it. Congratulations to them, and that's who I am. But that's by the way. Today we will talk about Tapsoba, possible move to Chelsea. Bernardo, Silva. We'll talk about Enzo Maresca looming maybe, or possible court battle with Chelsea Football Club. Another one after that prolonged court battle with another Italian, our former manager in Antonio Conte. Looks like another one is going to happen, but in this case, yeah, he was the architect of all of it, in my opinion, because yeah, the way he left, irrespective of how he was treated, he was the fact that he was willing to forfeit of what you could argue could have been a humongous severance payment, because yeah, he was eager to leave Chelsea and be available for Man City for when they call upon him. But that's by the way. We will also go news hunting as usual. Nothing structured, or you could say, nothing structured. And whatever we find that we feel like will be of interest to Chelsea fans, then we will talk about them. But once again, good evening, because it's still 6:55 p.m. CST for me. If some of you it's already morning, if that's the case, good morning to you. But thank you for finding the time to join me this evening. Yeah, my time. I appreciate you all. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's get on with it to the presentation window. I have to take care of this quickly. I thought I did already. All right, as we continue, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. Yes, we still do beg for likes. The likes do go a long way. The wrong window. Let me see. All right, give me a second here. I'll be back with you all. And the first person and the only person in the chat with mod mana is my bro, Wycliffe Barrosh, that Nigeria jersey. I love it. I have the white one too. I'm repping my birth country. Yep. But Wycliffe Barrosh, nice to see you once again. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. And please, anytime you see our community members, tell them we're streaming on daily basis. Now, without wasting much of your time, I think we should start with this particular one here. It's an interesting one. The manner in which Enzo Maresca left Chelsea, I knew probably, that wasn't going to be the end. And it looks like we're so bitter. We're still so bitter because, we believe he's the reason we're struggling, and the reason we're not in the top four, you could say we're not in contention to earn a UEFA competition place in the table, which makes sense to a certain extent. But I don't think we've heard enough of what really happened behind the scenes. And then again, that's my opinion. I think we will find out more. And the fact that the club talked about how he started talking, negotiating practically with Manchester City in early October 2025 and then December again on two occasions, actually, even though he informed them. I think if I were one of those guys in charge, I'd feel betrayed too, in all honesty. But that's my opinion anyway. Let's see. But Wicklet Barash, nice to see you. And who else is here? That's Mr. G Zola 25. Big up to you and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding time to join the conversation once again. Yes, we still do beg for likes. As you can say, as we get closer and closer to 30k subscribers, right now we're at 670k subscribers. And once we get to that milestone, we will do a giveaway of a custom Chelsea shirt for one lucky winner. And if you happen to be the one when that time comes, if you emerge as the winner, you could decide, yeah, you know what, you'd rather get the cash equivalent than the kit. Yeah. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Yes, as you can see, breaking news of Chelsea versus Enzo Maresca, Cucurella to Barcelona. That's something else we have lined up to talk about. So this says here, I think, should this be the first item to read about this situation? Yep, this says, where's that one in particular? But this says, let me read through it, but there's a preceding, maybe, a report on the matter that suggests that Chelsea are preparing to sue Manchester City and Enzo Maresca. And I think they're probably going to win. If they move ahead with it, it means that they've taken their time to look at it. Yeah, he's caused them some damages when he was under contract, and probably his departure wasn't wasn't mutual. So, but we'll pay attention. So this says sources familiar with that episode say that was the moment Maresca in effect handed in his resignation. He was gone 2 days later. The club statement landing early on New Year's Day. Chelsea, unsurprisingly, have not moved on from informing from Maresca, informing them he had twice spoken to City while under contract. But this is a bit confusing to me. The latter part of the second paragraph of this particular report is a bit confusing to me, because when we first heard that Maresca had told the club that he was speaking to Manchester City, and that report at the time had something to the effect of as obliged by the contract. So I'm not sure what to make of this, but there's, as I've said, there's probably, definitely a lot more to the situation than we know. So this says he was tapped up. Yep, I think I agree. Maybe not tapped up. He was tapped up. He knew he'd get the City role. The reason he didn't want compensation. The second, I totally agree with the second latter part, the second sentence in your comment. I don't think he was tapped up. I'd say, you could say he was always going to leave Chelsea for Manchester City. I'd say probably he used Chelsea as a stepping stone. You could argue use Chelsea to polish his resume. I'd swear on anything, honestly, that he always, you could say he was never settled at Chelsea. I get it. There are other factors, such as the fans not warming up to him, irrespective of how well he did at Chelsea, winning 2 trophies. Even before then, if you understand football, you'd know that the issues we faced under Enzo Maresca weren't his doing. He was practically, you could say, hand-tied, couldn't do much about the situation, had to adapt a more balanced approach, or you could say cautious approach, because, yeah, we had a lot of issues at the time, and it worked. But I digress anyway. My point is, I think he was going to leave Chelsea anyway for Manchester City, irrespective of whether he won the Champions League with Chelsea Football Club or not. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And for me, that's an opinion. I'm not saying that certainly that's the case, because yeah, I don't work for the club. I wasn't there, and not sure what really happened behind the scenes. Only he and the club knows. But the fact that after the club made it public that he had told them on 2 occasions that he was speaking to City while still under contract. So for me, that changed everything for me. I was one of his biggest defenders, but the moment I heard that, I was like, no, I don't like this guy anymore. And even after that, I was still saying, you know what, he just had to do what he had to do. It's his life. And then I read his farewell message. It was what we call classic self appraisal. It was much the farewell message was more about him, about me, about me, about me, about me. That's about him, Maresca. Nothing really about, you could say, appreciating Chelsea Football Club for giving him the opportunity, something to that effect. He started off by saying something like to the effect of leaving something better than you met it, something to that effect. So I think he was never going to stay at Chelsea. He was going to leave. But here is where the part that I blame the club is the fact that, yeah, they were, you can say, confident enough that what's his name, Rosinia, was going to do better than Maresca, that they say, you know what, if that's what you want, bye, Felicia. I think we could have been better off doing the best we can to convince him to stay till the end of the season. And you could argue, had we done that, and had we done that, and he agreed to stay to the end of the season, we'd be better placed in the table. But we didn't. Probably because at the time we were pissed off, not happy with the fact that he wasn't really loyal, even though we had him on a 7-year contract. That's trust. And I'll say this again: if I were one of those say the decision makers at Chelsea, I'd still feel the same way, and probably will fire him after the second. When he informed me for the second time that he was speaking to City. But then again, that's my opinion. But it has happened. But right now, it looks like Chelsea will could get some money from him and City. And we read something else. I'm going to come to this one anyway, but let me hear what you guys have to say about it. Wycliffe Barrett says some Chelsea fans don't want Europe, but ULE could save our season next season if we don't win anything. I'd rather, Houston, I'd rather us not play in any European competition if it's not Champions League. Why? I will explain. If you're telling me, but if we win the Europa League, that would get a chance to participate in the following edition of the Champions League after that particular season, then I tell you, if we concentrate in the Premier League without European distraction, you could call it distraction or assignment. If we win the league, we still participate in the next edition of the UEFA Champions League the following season. So if it's going to be Conference League, or even, in my opinion, even the Europa League, I wouldn't want us to participate. It's just a distraction. I'd say let's take the L, make decisive signings in the summer, and then shoot for the Premier League. Who says we cannot? With a manager as good as Xabi Alonso, I think we can. What's up to you too, Jeremy? Nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. The reason the result fell off at the end of this his reign was deliberate. I mean, that's a serious accusation. Who's to say that wasn't the case? We don't know. We can only speculate. But humans can be dangerous when it comes to, you can say, achieving their goals. I'm not saying all humans are like that, but there are a lot of people that could go to the extent of unaliving people who they believe will deter them or maybe be a hindrance to them not achieving their goal. We've been there before. So it's nothing new. So who's to say, he didn't do that? So I believe you, really. I believe you. No need to argue against that, my bro. Yeah. All right, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the stream. The conversation this particular evening is still 7:07 p.m. CST evening for me. I know it's already May 21st for a lot of you, and if that's the case, good morning. But let's see. So this says sources close to the former Leicester manager have acknowledged Chelsea are entitled to demand a sizable compensation package for City to acquire his services. But I'm quite sure City probably even before hiring him knew that was going to be the case. So I think you can say the court battle now, if they allow it to get to that extent, would be how much are they going to pay? But I think it will be a lot, and yeah, we deserve that because we're going to be claiming damages, and maybe because yeah, he's hot-headed. The same you can say he left I think one of his first. I don't know whether that was the first opportunity he got to manage a team. He left in anger too, an Italian club. Yeah. So maybe because he's hot-headed, and in the moment at that time didn't really think it through and thought Chelsea was going to be glad that he was leaving, and his focus at the time was just to get out and be a free agent so that he'd get the Manchester City job, and ended up making a mistake. Yeah, given the contract he signed for Chelsea. So yeah, this is from Jacob Steinberg actually, and I think that the situation, given what we're learning, is opening the eyes of a lot of Chelsea fans. Some are still defending him. I get it. You could argue that we could have done better in the transfer window to back him, given he won us 2 trophies that a lot of people didn't actually. I get it. Maybe the Conference League, we were definitely the overwhelming favorites, and we won it in style. But the Club World Cup, not a lot of people gave us a chance. I'd say 90% plus didn't believe Chelsea were able of winning that competition. He did that, and you could argue, yeah, they didn't do much to support him, which you could argue he understood. I think he should probably, he must, you could say, he definitely was well acquainted with the situation we were in at the time, given the restrictions from UEFA. We had to, if we signed it, you could say we were limited to how many players we were allowed to register. I can't quite remember. It was a bit complex, not that simple anyway. He knew about it and probably just wanted to leave. So, but I think the fact that, yeah, his camp, if they say sources close to the former Leicester City manager have acknowledged Chelsea are entitled to demand a sizable compensation package for City to acquire his services. Yeah, because they started talking. He was still under contract when they started talking. So maybe he tried to wiggle his way out of it, but he's still in trouble. All right, let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. In Xavi, I trust. You can argue majority of Chelsea fans wanted Enzo Maresca, wanted Xabi Alonso, and I did say that hiring him, for me, if the owners are looking for ways to heal, you could say to mend the relationship between the deteriorated, I can't pronounce that word, relationship between the fans and the ownership, a good start will be hiring Xabi Alonso. And for me, that's an excellent start, actually, because he's an excellent tactician. If we've had issues where our players don't respect the managers we've had since the new ownership, then who are you to not listen to what Xabi Alonso has to say? When he speaks, the dressing room listens. Why? He's been there, seen it all, done it all, more specifically, won it all. And as a manager, he pulled off one of the biggest, you could say, surprises in world football. Yeah, a trophy that Leverkusen hadn't won for 100 years before he was hired. Yeah, and he won it in style. Won it under the noses of Bayern, who definitely at the time had a superior squad a much better squad. Same with Borussia Dortmund, but he won it and won it in style without losing a single game. And by the way, he won a double. I get it. Whenever people talk about his exploits at Leverkusen, they in most cases fail to mention that he won a double that season with them. Yeah. All right. Drew is here. Drew says Barcelona trying to sign Chelsea players with no money feels like Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, because every summer they keep saying the kid is not my son whenever the chance of you're right. Let me explain something. João Pedro would be lying if he says he knows nothing about it. I get it. He's not itching to leave. They must have spoken to his camp or even and then his agent and his agent informed him and probably that's just me speculating and I can imagine him going something like, look, I'm not itching to leave right now. I'm happy at Chelsea, but if you want to go, you can say shoot your shot, give it a shot, and if they're open to selling me, I'll be open to joining Barca. Who's to say he's not aware of that? But the good thing is that he's still happy at Chelsea, and we've heard from Chelsea that we're not looking to sell João Pedro. But you'd be stupid to believe that, yeah, he has nothing to do with Barca, you can say, sponsoring such a narrative that, yeah, they already, they're talking with his camp, and some are actually suggesting that he's open to joining Barcelona. But yeah, what matters to me is what the reports that we've addressed that are from Chelsea's perspective, and they're all saying Chelsea are not looking to sell João Pedro, not even now, not never. So that's not going to happen. They're just trying their luck, and we know they're so broke. Football fans changed their name to Brocolona, so they cannot afford him, and I'm not concerned really. But that's, by the way, Drew, nice to see you. Drew! And to my bro, Tebe, the coolest chance. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Maresca is this man. We both all, I don't think Tebe loved Maresca more than I did when he was at Chelsea, really. But I'm that sort of person. I trust people easily. I love people easily. But I can actually hate someone as quickly as I love them. Or you could say stop trusting them as quickly as I started trusting them. That's the sort of person I am. I wouldn't say I hate Enzo Maresca, but he disappointed me, and I don't know how soon I'm going to be able to let go of that. I forgive, but I usually don't forget. And my principle is that because if I forget, I'd have nothing that always remind me of my mistakes, which will in turn lead to me not repeating my mistakes. All right, nice to see you, Nipun. I appreciate you. He says, I am behind Xabi Alonso now. Yeah, that's our manager. We move on from our past managers and support our present manager. The signs are good, and the mood have changed from negative to positive within the Chelsea community. Hi to you, to Nipun, my bro, I appreciate you. And to my sister, Shay Wendy, nice to see you. We haven't actually talked in a while. We usually say hello to each other. But I think I'll find time to drop a message and see how you're doing. But I appreciate you. We will see Xabi Alonso ball next season from preseason. Yeah, count next season. I think I'm happy, honestly. I just can't wait for him to get excited. All right. I feel bad for João Pedro not getting called up to the Brazil squad. He really deserved a chance. I'm not sure what happened, because if looking at some of the names that are on the list, I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. But I'm not his agent. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Chelsea fan. Honestly, I think he merits to be. Again, he's deserves to be on that list. But for some reason, Don Carlo thinks he doesn't. But I think definitely politics. And I've spoken at length with regards to why I think, definitely politics, really. So Enzo Maresca, let's see how much Chelsea gets from him, because eventually. we will find out how much Man City end up paying Chelsea. Because it looks like, yeah, definitely Chelsea are going to sue them, except if they settle behind the scenes, which hardly ever happens these days. But let's see. Andrea Santos says, I think this club opened the door to Europe for me. I joined Chelsea when I was 18 years old, and it changed, and it has changed my life. I was playing in Brazil, second division, and moving to the Premier League is not easy. Yeah, actually, that's something. What remembering, he was playing in the second division, and Chelsea snipped him out from there, if you like. But good scouting work. And I then joined the Nottingham Forest in Strasbourg as well. But now I am back, and I am so happy to be here. My family too. My second son is English, so I am so happy because it's like a dream for my family and me to play here at Chelsea. It's a dream. So his son probably will most likely end up playing for England, just like Thiago Silva's son. And Jeremy Knight says it's not like Brazil. They're going to win the World Cup trophy. So I am glad JPN going. I need him fit for next season and well rested, more importantly. Because I don't know why I just can't stop talking about his omission from the Brazil squad. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. I'd argue that he's actually better than a lot of the players that will be on the plane to the World Cup for Brazil. And why he's not, I certainly don't understand. It just doesn't make any sort of sense to me. In all honesty, it just does not make any sort of sense to me. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. I wish them well. I hate watch for Brazil in the World Cup. I'm not gonna hate watch them. I've always supported them, but I'm not happy. But I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm just not gonna watch it really, because yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. The most annoying thing is how the truth remains that the way the whole thing played out. Definitely politics. Even before the squad list was released, people already knew that that they were gonna omit João Pedro. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. And then I read something that suggests that he was dropped for Neymar. And then I read something also that suggests bribery. I'm just don't want to try. I just don't want to start throwing, you can say, information, something at you from my wazoo without verifying them. I don't want to do that, but it's fishy. It just doesn't make any sort of sense, really. Given how well he finished the season, even how good it's been since signing for Chelsea. And Igor Thiago, correct me if I'm wrong, he's on the list. And he's had, again, the last, when we compared his numbers to that of João Pedro, that was when news first emerged that we were interested in signing Igor Thiago. We compared their numbers. He had, they were both 20 goals, but the non-penalty goals for João Pedro at the time, 16, I think around 14. But Igor Thiago, his non-penalty goals, I think, were 12 or so, or 10. I can't quite remember. So I just don't understand. It just doesn't make any sort of sense, in my opinion. But I don't work for the Brazilian FA. That just unlike Don Carlo, because he's known to reward effort. And I think João Pedro better than some of the players on the list. You can say plenty of them, really. Coach, if we get the Conference League spot, will you be happy? Also, do you think Chelsea should forfeit to play in the tournament? I don't think you can on purpose forfeit playing in the tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong, if that is actually a possibility. If it's a possibility and we can, I'd say, do it. It's not like you're gonna make a lot of money from playing in that competition. So even the Europa League, which much bigger than the Europa Conference League. Give me 1 second. So let me read this again. Heston, even the Europa League, it's a competition that we've won before. If we can avoid it, but it's not something we cannot do that by design. And I'm not praying that we you could say maybe lose games so we don't find ourselves playing in any of those two competitions. If I say, look, I don't mind us missing out in the Europa League, and maybe, and you could say not have any European assignments, which I call European distractions next season. Focus on the Premier League. Who's to say we cannot win the Premier League next season? If we take corrective measures in the summer, specifically sign strategically, spend our money strategically in the summer, who's to say we're not going to win the Premier League? Then win the Premier League and qualify for the Champions League for the following season. It's no different from people saying, yeah, but if we play in the Europa League and win it, we get a chance to play in the Champions League. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. So I'd rather we not play in it, focus in the Premier League next season. We can win it. Just make strategic signings, and with a good manager, I think we can. I don't want that distraction, except if UEFA introduces a new club competition. Then I say maybe, you know what, maybe we should just stoop so low and win that one too, and then complete the set once again. But you get my point now. Jeremy says, I don't need the Conference League. I'd take Europa League maybe. Yeah, but if we find ourselves, you can say, playing in one of those two competitions in question, I'd say, I mean, it will not be useless. We can use it as a platform to develop our our up and coming, you say, younger players. You could argue to some measure Maresca actually did that too. Yeah. I think Ancelotti love explosiveness and physicality. I'd go with he loves experience more. Ancelotti, if possible, you see him play a 60-year-old player. As long as you can move, as long as you have footballing intelligence. I'd say more he likes. Maybe you could be accurate, but what about I've always paid attention to is Carlo likes experience a lot. He likes to have a lot of experienced players on his team, irrespective of their age. I want Europa League, but we have to win on Sunday, and hopefully Brighton loses against Manchester United. Maybe Steve Holland would do us you can say, would do us a favor there. All right, let's see. Coach, big up to you, to Chelsea Blue 881. Nice to see you. Alonso has given me a new level of hope next season is ours. This squad needs a coach with his quality, mentality, repertoire, and whatever you can say, whatever you want to mention. And plus the fact they've given them the key and say, drive. We're the passengers now. That makes me really, really happy. My bro, let me say that again. Ibro, my bro. Nice to see you down one now. Okay, I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. Oh, that's Choma. Sorry, I've said hello to Ibro, but this is still my sister. This is still family. Good evening, Coachila, and everyone in the chat. Choma, once again, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. And yep, Choma Dalo. And why is Tapsoba up there? Rumors are that we're interested in signing him. Yep. Rumors are that we're interested in signing Tapsoba. No jokes, honestly. No jokes at all. All right, let's see. No Conference League, please. We just need a reset. And listen, if it's not the Champions League, I'd rather we not play in any other level of any other European competition. Just focus on the Premier League and win it. Really. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, not like the others, right? Daryl, nice to see you once again. So sad. See Arsenal won Premier League. My club win Premier League. So long we won it. I am big Chelsea fan. Okay, nice to see you. No need mentioning your age, but thank you for joining us. It looks like you're using some sort of translator, maybe. But thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Let's see, what else do we have here? It's not just about qualifying for the Champions League, qualifying for the UEFA Champions League by winning the UEFA Conference League. We are capable of winning both the English Premier League and the UEFA. Is that the Conference League? The Europa League gives us what? Gives us a shot at the treble, something that we've never achieved. I don't think we're actually, you could say, we're capable of pulling off such at the moment. Honestly, and that's just my opinion anyway. But I get where you're coming from. But I'd rather we not have what I call European distraction. Focus on the Premier League, especially now that Arsenal have won one after 700 years. And as how long? When was the last time we won it? 2017 under Antonio Conte, right? I want us to win another one, to win the one for the coming season. And Arsenal, actually, they were lucky. Had it not been that, you could say, the fact that this has been a season where some of the top six teams, a lot of the top six teams were all underperforming because majority of them in a transitional period, Liverpool, Manchester United, even Chelsea to some extent. Yeah, in the transition period. So, but had the season been as tough as last season, they still come second again. Yeah. Thank you, Chama. I appreciate that. I will take the Conference League, to be honest, because it won't disturb us with anything. Just use it as a platform to develop your fringe players, maybe. What else do we have here? Yeah. Congratulations to your dad. Unai Emery, you could say he's the godfather of the Europa League. And that's like the fifth one. To be honest, I think you should know. Is that the fifth one? I don't know. Is that the fifth one? Let me try something here. Modmana is not responding to comments. Yeah, the fifth one. Yeah, he's the godfather of the Europa League. Yeah, 3 times was it with Villarreal? He's really good at it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me take care of something. All right. This here says Andrea Santos says that okay. I think we've addressed that one. Still on Andrea Santos. Andrea Santos, Xabi Alonso is a top manager and is a legend in football. He played in my position too, so I have to work hard. We will work hard to finish the season. Finish well, yeah. And then in the summer, we will see what happens. I think we will make excellent signings. I think we could do that. But I still wouldn't want that to happen because the manager would still be traveling and all that, and other players would still be traveling with them. So I'd rather it not happen. But if it happens, I will take it. Yeah, it makes sense. The fifth one. Jesus Christ, he's indeed the godfather of that competition. My goodness, he's always there. And I think that man is actually underrated. Unai Emery, very underrated in my opinion. I think he's an excellent tactician. But that's just my opinion anyway. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding time to join the conversation this particular evening. 3 with Sevilla, 1 Villarreal, and 1 with Aston Villa. The only one he lost was against Chelsea. Am I wrong? He lost 1 against Chelsea. So had he won that, then it'd be that he'd been that he never loses you can say a Europa League final. He lost 1 against Sarri, didn't he? And that was in Baku. Yeah, that was in Baku. Is it Baku? How you pronounce that? Is it? What's the correct pronunciation? I can't quite. Is it Baku? But something that sounds similar, or maybe somewhat similar spelling. I can't quite remember. Yeah, he lost 1 final against Chelsea. Yeah, should just be renamed the Unai. Should just be renamed the Unai Emery Trophy. Yeah. That's an excellent one. I had to. Damn. And Wycliffe Barrish, can you remind me when it clocks 10 days so that I can create the second quiz? I need to create the second quiz. That way we don't forget, so it runs. But my word, that's a. I like that, really. I think he should be renamed that. Yeah, he should be renamed the Unai Emery Cup. Sarri Ball won. Yeah, hands down. Actually, they didn't. It wasn't even close. Was it 3-1? Iwobi scored. Hazard scored. That was Hazard's last game for Chelsea, wasn't it? Olivier Giroud scored. Excellent header, excellent diving header on the day. Hazard brace, Pedro and Giroud goes. Okay, yeah, Pedro scored 2. It wasn't even close. Yeah, Chelsea's recent form is like a dodgy takeaway, bruv. That's Mod Manor. Who's he responding to? All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Chelsea are weighing up a huge summer move for Bayer Leverkusen's defender Edmond Tapsoba as they look to tick off one of new manager Xabi Alonso's key transfer demands. Tebejo, let's hear your thoughts on Tapsoba to Chelsea. Do you think we're capable of pulling, you can say, signing him? And do you like him? Let's hear you. I know you probably know him well. So he ended 4-1, not 3-1. Okay, Iwobi's goal, for me, maybe I think Olivier Giroud's goal was better. But Iwobi's goal was good. He was introduced off the bench. Yeah, he didn't start. He came off the bench and scored that cracker of a goal. And I was concerned a bit. It was a beautiful goal. I think rebounds from, I don't know, one of our defenders, and Iwobi let it land on his knee, then Dean let it drop and volleyed it. And Arteta. I think Arteta is going to struggle next season, and I'm going to explain why. Look how the season, you say, if they didn't win it this season, then winning it will be another 70 years. And I'm going to explain why. It was theirs for the taking this season because a lot of other teams weren't doing well. One struggle or one issue or the other. Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, all losing games that they shouldn't be losing. Yeah. And you could argue a factor also for me, which I think, I'm not saying that Arsenal didn't deserve to win it, but I think uh, they deserve respect, irrespective of how they want it. It doesn't matter. I think Mourinho would do such anytime, any day to win a competition. They deserve respect. It doesn't freaking matter how dirty they played and how much they got away with. If we have any issues, if we have issues with what things stuff they got away with, then yeah, we should be loud about it. Speak about the FA's corruption, or how at the time we talked about how the rules adapt to the way Arsenal play and not the other way around. Yeah, and not Arsenal adapting to the rules. They got away with a lot, but it doesn't freaking matter really, in my opinion. Let's see. So they tell me that you're waiting for the league like this after all the years. Now we finally you're looking for a squad like this. I don't think. I think our squad will be much better than theirs, in my opinion. I think they're not gonna. It's not going to be the same for them next season. Liverpool will be much better. Chelsea will be much better. Manchester United will be much better. They're not going to come close to winning it next season. Honestly, the past 2 seasons I was able to predict they're not going to win it. But this season I was reluctant because the signs were there that yeah, definitely they're gonna win it. And they didn't necessarily, in my opinion, win it because they signed Gyökeres. No. For me, he still stinks. But yeah, let's see what else we have here. I like him, but it seems like journalists are linking us with former Xabi Alonso players for the sake of clicks. You know that might well be the case. Yeah, chances are we're not interested. I've heard one actually mentioned that he's Xavi, that he's asked the club to push for Osimhen, which for me, absolute horse dunk. I don't think Osimhen gets to play for Chelsea again. And by the way, I'm not gonna stop saying this. I like Osimhen, but I'd rather Boniface than Osimhen. Boniface is a more complete player. Osimhen is more of a traditional number 9, more powerful, better aerially. Boniface better on the ball, in my opinion. They're both good players, but I'd rather we sign Boniface over Osimhen, and that is something I started saying 10,000 years ago. Especially now that we have Xabi Alonso as our manager, I'd rather Victor Boniface than Osimhen. But my concern, of course, is that he's hardly ever fit, almost always injured. I have to say that. Yoro Hato is getting better for Chelsea. He's going to be good for us. He's always been good for us. All he needed was just time. But at Chelsea, giving players time is not something you can say it's not something we know how to do. He's all the occasions that he had the opportunity to play for us on the what's his name, under Enzo Maresca, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't perfect either. But he wasn't, you could say, as bad as a lot of people make it to be at the time. But he had one awful night to forget, which was that game against Karabakh. He had an awful night, and in my opinion, the manager's selection on the day didn't help. That night didn't help either. The left-hand side was poor, offensively and defensively, leading to him making series of mistakes because, the Karabakh on the day piled pressure on us. And in the central area on the day, he had Tosin with him, so it wasn't a good pairing after all on the day. So, and after that game, we had Rich Moneymaker. He rushed to the chat and started screaming, Hato is not Chelsea level. And we were asking him, do you even know him before we signed him? Because if you knew him, or before we signed him, you'd know that, he's a good player. All he needed was just time to settle in. And at his age, that awful outing at Karabakh was enough, to, you can say, keep him on the sidelines, not because he's injured, because mentally he needed to, you can say, take a step back and hit the reset button and then come back again, which he did, in my opinion. Maresca, a lot of people, I've heard people say Maresca did him dirty. He didn't. No. Maresca wanted to ease him in gradually. He was working until that awful outing, and then he had to take a bit of a break, which made sense. And if Maresca didn't like him after making the sort of mistakes he made against Karabakh, he'd haul him off at halftime, but he let him finish the game, which comes from experience. Because had he taken him off, chances are we'd be talking about him going out on loan now. So I don't think Maresca did anything to him, in my opinion. All right. They already linked us with Gilmado and Tapsoba. And let me ask this. Is what's his name? Hincapié, he's on loan at Arsenal, right? Tabehoki, and Arsenal doesn't look like Arsenal are looking to sign him on a permanent. Can you guys correct me if I'm wrong? Please, can you guys correct me if I'm wrong? Hincapié on loan at Arsenal, right? And we'll go back to Leverkusen at the end of the season, which means we'll still have a chance to sign him. I like him, really. That Tapsoba guy gives me Tosin vibes. Really? Madeke and Kai must be excited about winning the league. Why not? And your brother, too. Why wouldn't they? Yeah, why wouldn't they? And I hope to God they don't win the Champions League. And the ugly truth is that Arsenal are more likely to win the Champions League than PSG, and I'm going to explain why. The reason being because PSG, they're a very good side. They're a very potent side. They can have an XG of 0.19 and score 700 goals from that. That's how potent they are in front of goal. But here's the thing: PSG, they're the same as Bayern. Very, very potent in attack too. Right? They're very potent in attack, but defensively they suck. They suck defensively not necessarily because they have bad defenders, but down to their approach. They almost always employ a very, very risky approach. The more focus on attack than defending. Whether anybody thinks that's not the case, but I think that's the case. So that's why I'm saying Arsenal are actually more likely to win the Champions League than PSG, because Arsenal are very solid defensively. They can start 10, you can say 25 defensive midfielders plus 4 defenders to do the calculation. And they have a potent attack to, you can say, that if they get a chance against a defensive line like that of PSG, they're more likely to win the Champions League, unfortunately. But I hope to God they don't. But they're more likely to win that Champions League than PSG, unfortunately. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. What else do we have here? Boniface under Xavi. I wouldn't mind. And who's to say maybe we're not planning to go for him? You don't know. But let's see what happens. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We have 8 people following the show on YouTube. In total, we have 38 on YouTube. The rest is shared between X and Facebook, whether equally. Coachila doesn't know. But please, if you see our community members, tell them we're back streaming on daily basis again. And yep, good news, my in-laws will come back tomorrow, and yeah, the Blue Morning Show will come back too. So yeehaw! Yep, and let's see, Osimhen, and this is the last week of school actually for the kiddos. Osimhen is a better fit, I wouldn't say. Very explosive, good aerially, wise bullies, you can say bullies defenders, area wise, okay. Bullies defenders, I miss that kind jobber character. Even though, what's his name? Boniface comes across as soft. He's not soft. But I take Boniface anytime, any day for reasons that I've explained. And because Xabi is our manager, I think we'll be better off signing Boniface. that is very interested. He's a complete player, good on the ball, excellent dribbler, can create for his teammates. Really, Osimhen beats him. Also, if you want a more traditional number 9, then go for Osimhen. But if you want for, you could say, a hybrid number 9 who's capable of operating you could say as a traditional number 9, then Boniface is your man. Yes, on loan, but they will sign him permanently. That was part of the deal. Ouch! I like him, Kapi, but he's an enemy now, and we just have to move on. Let's see. I am jealous. And by the way, we have Bans on the panel. Bans, give me a few minutes. I'll come back to you. Just a few seconds. I really. And you didn't reach out because I told you I was gonna tell you what to bring back to me from your travels. We're gonna fight.
No problem, Coachy.
All right. I don't think Arteta will struggle next season. Just remember, I told you that. I'm not saying it's not gonna be a struggle, but they're not gonna come close to winning the league. Arsenal already have a solid defense, and they will strengthen their attack to Chelsea, Man United, City, and possibly Liverpool. Not possibly Liverpool will be there. We'll have a new Liverpool will have a new manager. No, I think Slot will stay, and Liverpool will be will be more of a unit next season. Remember when during the summer transfer window, when people were saying if they sign Isaac, that's it, that they were definitely going to win the league, and we told them no, that would be too many changes. They will eventually start firing on all cylinders, but this season they were going to struggle. If you understand football, you know, they made a lot too many changes. All right. I hope they win, but that's not more likely to win it. Do you think we get new goalkeeper? Pendas is coming. Whether we get another goalkeeper, honestly, I don't know. All right. Bans. Esteban's lawyer, according
Yes,
to
sir.
Tevejo. And Pep leaving, that's icing on the cake for Arteta. No, that's just you believing what your brother told you, Choma. It's not going to work. I'm not just saying that because, I'm a Chelsea fan. The league will be tighter next season. Just look at how many points. They might actually not win the next game. Especially now they've won the league already. All right, let's see. PSG have to save our mental states. Houston, if you're a true Chelsea fan, they haven't won it for like 20 years plus. We won our last league in 16-17. Wasn't that the case? And after 16-17 in 2021, we won the Champions League. And I think it was in 2021 that we also won the Club World Cup, the older version, didn't we? Yeah. And then last season, we won the Club World Cup, we're the current world champions, and we won the Conference League. We're not close. Even if they win the Champions League, it's still not close. And if they say we've won the Champions League, tell them we won. We have 2. They have 1. Even if they win, let's say that was, you can say if they win it and it counts as their second Champions League trophy, tell them we're the current world champions. We're not the same still. Winning it, you say a double doesn't make us the same, but I'd rather they don't win it. But let's see what else we have here. Boniface is struggling with injuries. That's my only concern. It is not wise to sign him. We don't have an extra bet. We don't have extra bet for players. Oh my goodness, the big. Vance, I'll come to you in a bit, please. Just give me a few seconds here. All right, I'm gonna stop. Scroll to the very, very bottom. I have to bring on Vance to speak in a bit. Because that's a lot. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm not saying anything. The World Cup, I don't know. I have to do, you can say, to make it a proper analysis, I have to look at the squads and everything. Yeah. Sorry guys, my daughter is still trying to badge into my office. I'm not sure who. Yeah, South Africa. I mean, they should. If they can, I will support them, but I don't think they will. Our players play better football than Arsenal, but lots of few things which I think Alonso can see through. He's an excellent manager. Who else is there to compete? Slot Xavi. Slot can. Slot can. His squad will, you can say, will be more of a unit come 26-27 season, and they're probably going to make defensive signings because their biggest problems this season have been defensive issues, plus injuries, actually. Yeah. But that's by the way, Banks, where do you want to come in? Let's hear you. I appreciate you finding time to join me on the panel. How are you doing, my brother?
Cool, Coachy. I'm doing good, and I'm having a good time in Ghana. So don't worry. Whatever you want from here, I'm still here. I should
All
be back in the
right.
next
I
few.
like bracelets a lot.
Oh, okay, no problem. I'll
Yeah,
check
I
out
like
our
bracelets
absent
a
menu.
lot. And if I can get
Yeah.
any Ghanaian top shirt, even the
Oh,
Ghanaian jersey, I like it. I like yellow, the black and yellow combo. But you shouldn't
okay.
go. You don't have to.
Sure, Coachy. I
Yeah.
got you. Don't worry.
Go ahead, my
So,
bro.
I'll first of all congratulate Arsenal for, spending a whole lot of years giving a try, and finally they were able to get it right. And we can say that at long last they are the Premier League, champions. That was a hard, battle. They had to struggle a lot. At a point, people thought that they were going to lose it. I was so pissed yesterday when City just gave it out to Arsenal. But hey, they deserve it. They've done well over the past at least 4 years. They've come close, and yesterday was the time for them to win the league. So I will congratulate them. And also, let me
Honestly, I
tackle.
actually suspected City were going to lose that game, and we
Yeah,
talked about that during the evening show. They've looked shaky of late, even though they've won games, but they've looked shaky defensively. But go ahead, what you're saying.
I believe Bournemouth is also really doing well because I think for some time now they haven't lost a game, and it is a very difficult place to
They're a good
grab
side.
three
Yeah,
points.
they're a good side.
So that was a fair, result. And also coming back to my football club Chelsea, I believe these owners have done something smart, and I think a lot of the fans are now calming down just to see what will happen, because at least if you bring in a coach like Xabi Alonso, a lot of the fans will see that you are very serious about the football club and you are not joking. They were at the point of going to lose the football club because a lot of the fans were mad at them, and I wouldn't know what would have happened if Alonso was not announced anytime soon. But they were smart to bring in
Here's my
Alonso.
theory. That again, that was announced a few minutes after the end, the final whistle uh, for the FA Cup. I think it was on papers. You can say they probably must have been on the verge of concluding the process of hiring Xabi Alonso before that final, and they were able to keep everything under wraps, and
Mm,
they wanted to use it, you could say, to brighten people's mood on the day because they weren't too sure how we were gonna fare
react.
against Manchester City. Because why
Yeah.
would that be announced? Why would the deal be announced just a few minutes after the end of
For
that
the
game?
game. Yeah, because they know what they were doing, and obviously one would say that Xavi Alonso wasn't the right person for them because they always want somebody they can control, somebody they can dictate
I
for.
mean that's
But
still speculation. We don't know.
yeah, but if you bring in Xavi Alonso, a lot of the fans are going to be happy. They are going to minimize the protests and all those things. And for the past few days, you can see that everything has normalized, and people are trying to believe in their project. But nobody should be carried away because these guys have a way of operating, and sometimes you ask yourself, if a coach is coming in, is it possible that this coach is going to succeed or not, regardless of how good they are? And that scares me a lot because if Xavi comes in and he's not going to get the same, freedom like the way he had in Leverkusen, he is obviously going to like bottle it like the way it happened in Real Madrid. With Real Madrid, it has to do with the
I don't
players.
think he did bad. He didn't do
Yeah,
bad. He
Real Madrid,
has.
yeah, but the point is, he wasn't able to be successful in Real Madrid based on what the players were doing. Some players were doing
He was.
doing.
Would you? Why would you categorize? You say his time as Madrid as not being successful. He finished with nearly, I think, 70% plus win percent. For me, not
Yeah, but
bad.
this Real Madrid side, like Real Madrid in general, they are a winning side. They want to be 100% in whatever they are doing. So if you come in and things are not going the way they want, at least it's a very bad season for them. Look at what is happening right now with Mbappe and the Madrid fans. Mbappe, I think, is the highest goal scorer, but he's still having problem with the fans. So you can see that it's a place where you go, they expect you to be perfect, which I think is not fair on the side of some of these players and the coaches. But let's say that Alonso comes in and he has to be successful. These owners have to give him the freedom. He has to bring his own players and they have to allow him to do things by himself. The money should be ready for him to be spending, and I believe that there are so many players out here that we have to let go. We've given them the opportunity and things are not getting better. So some of these players, it would be very wise for us to like cash on them and use it on other players. And by so doing, I think we can go into the next season with a lot of prospect, with a lot of hope that at least for some time now, we can say that we are close to winning the EPL. When you are going to the next season without you being playing the Champions League, it looks very dry because a lot of the Chelsea fans are hoping to witness the Champions League, but it's rather unfortunate that next season we are going to play either the Conference League or Europa, and at least most of us are so fed up with those competitions. And if you look at our sustainability, it was so short because we spent a whole lot of time not playing in the Champions League. And when we came back, we only just spent 1 year for us to also go back to the lower, competitions, which is rather unfortunate. And trust me, if I had my own power or I have my own will, I would say that we shouldn't even play any European competition if it's not Champions League, so that Alonso will get time to be with these players, assess them, and even the subsequent years we can compete for the Champions League because it is going to be a big distraction. He's a new coach. He has to figure out so many things with our football club. There are so many things he has to get it right. So if he's playing two competitions, I think there will be a lot of distractions. And for me, I believe it could have been better if we are not even playing any European competition except the Champions League. And as he's coming in, at least he has to improve in some areas that we are lacking. I wouldn't mind bringing Rudiger because Rudiger is almost going to retire very
Rudiger
soon.
is actually on the verge of signing a new deal at Madrid.
That would be so devastating because I
Yeah.
wish or I was hoping that probably we can play a smart one on Madrid and bring him back. If you have somebody like Rudiger coming back to Chelsea, he knows the terrain very well. He has been with the football club for a very long time. He has all the experience. Physicality is there. And I think that would have been perfect. And somebody like Ruben Diaz, I think he's not getting involved a lot with Man City lately. So he is somebody he has seen it all in City, and if there is any possibility we can bring that experience to our football club, I'll be open to that. Somebody like Bernardo Silva, he might leave City very soon. Is it possible we can bring him to our football club for the experience? And is he willing to join?
I read something that suggests we're actually considering making a move for him. I'm not sure how truthful that is. where
Yes,
you could say it's that period where a lot of nonsense.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So
if you
we don't
can bring
know.
somebody like Bernardo Silva to revamp the midfield, he's an experienced player. He's very good on the ball. He can distribute very well. Him, Enzo Fernandez, and probably Casedo will be the best pairing. And sometimes James can also be there. You have the likes of Alvarez in Atleti, and if Alonso is coming, he's Spanish. Alvarez is also Argentine, so probably there are certain players they have the belief that if they are playing under certain coaches, their careers can go far. And I think Alonso can make Alvarez one of the best, strikers out there. You can use Enzo Fernandez to bring him to the football club, sell him the project. If you really want us to win, this guy can come in, and with him and João Pedro, I think it's going to be, very perfect. So I think there are so many things Alonso needs to fix, and without doing so, I believe he's going to run into some of these problems. And sometimes, if you want this Chelsea side, they can sometimes perform so good, and you wonder why sometimes they also allow themselves to be, beaten by certain, teams. And it all boils down to the mentality. And I believe if you have a winning coach like Alonso to come in, he can improve on some of this situation. He has won a lot of Champions League with so many different teams, and he knows how the games go. So if he's coaching some of these guys, I believe he can bring the best out of them. And he has a whole lot of things that he has to do. And I believe these owners also have done something very smart, and we all have to see what happens
All
in the
right.
subsequent, months. And I believe if he comes in with the way he was operating in Leverkusen, I know for sure that there are so many even players that we are not even think about, and he will just improve them. And Chelsea is going to be a winning side. So let's hope for the better. And for now, I still believe that the owners are not free for now. We are just temporarily relaxing about how things are going. Everyone is exhausted, and I believe if the whole thing starts next season and they are, should I say, um, what is the word I have to use? They are not allowing Alonso to work on his own players. I believe a lot of fans are going to shout, and they are not going to have a free time. So let's hope for the better, and I believe things are going to get, better. But for now, I would say that our team is not that it's not looking bad. I hope that we can maintain some of these players, because for us not to play the Champions League, it's possible that some of these players after the World Cup will look elsewhere, and you will not like to lose the likes of João Pedro, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Casiedo, and Cucurella. They are very part, or should I say, they are very important players for this football club. So after the World Cup, if they supposed to do well, it's rather unfortunate that João Pedro is not going to the World Cup, but the rest will be playing. If they improve, or if their performance at the World Cup is so high, I believe Madrid, Barcelona, PSG will be tempted to come for those players. Let's not forget that Enzo Fernandez is somehow not happy with our football club. But if he goes to the World Cup and he becomes one of the best midfielders at the World Cup, trust me, Madrid will come, Barcelona will come, PSG will come, Man City will come. And are we sure that he's going to stay here after that? So these are some of the questions that we have to ask, and I believe Alonso need to also talk to him and make sure that he saw the vision to some of these players, because a lot of them are wondering whether they should leave the football club or they should stay. So if Alonso should express the vision to them and let them know how important they are with this football club, I believe he's not going to run into any problem. But let's hope for the better. There are so many things that he has to do, and I believe he's capable of doing. And if you ask me, which are some of the players we have to let go, honestly, I believe the likes of the lap should go. Who was Torsen should go because it will get to a time another centre back will come in and Torsen might not have any game time. So for you not to waste your time, you could go to some of these lower teams and you will have like constant 90 minutes over there. So Torsen should be another one. Even for Fana, I would say he's at risk right now because if I see the way Hato is playing, I think I spoke with you about Hato, and you thought that he had a very bad game. That is why Maresca was not fielding him. But that was some of the problem I had with Maresca because some of these boys were there and he never gave them the opportunity a lot. If Maresca was still here, trust me, Hato would have gone in for loan deal because he wasn't getting any game time with Maresca. But when Rosinia came in and McFarlane came in, they were giving him a lot of opportunities. And look at the game against Tottenham yesterday. Look at the clearance. That was a top-notch clearance. So it tells us that sometimes some of these boys need to be given the opportunity to play day in and day out because the more you let them sit on a bench, the more they are going to be rusty and they are going to be worthless. They are not going to perform so good. But for some time now, at least he's getting some game time and he gets like he's improving day in and day out. That tells me that even if a champion would have been given that opportunity when Maresca was here, by now wouldn't be talking about Fofana and how sometimes they commit so many errors. These boys never get the opportunity. Look at how what is happening to Estabal, my own best player, Estabal. By now he could have been like up there. But to be honest, if you look at his performance at Palmeiras and you compare it with his situation right now at Chelsea, he hasn't done enough, all because he was on the bench unnecessarily. He should be like an important player for a football club, but he was kept on the bench for so long. That was the problem I was having with Maresca. So look at Hato now, and I'm not surprised that right now, if you are looking for reliable defenders, some of these players are going to risk of losing their position because this guy is really fighting so hard. He can play on the outer side. He can also play at the center back. So the likes of Cucurella and all those people, they really have to like amend their game. Somebody like Ganacho, I believe he's a talented player, and if Alonso should come in and improve him, that would be the best. And but if not, I think he can go on loan the likes of this guy, kid who came Gittins. When he comes back, I believe they are going to assess him, and I don't know if he will be able to stay here. He might go on loan too. There are so many players they might put on the loan list, and others I believe it's about time they go. Nicolas Jackson, I don't know his future, whether he's going to stay here or they will let him go, but it's possible he is also going to go. So all in all, I believe there are so many work to be done, and Alonso should start the work right now. Assess all the players, let them know who are going to stay and who are going to leave, and also Santos, Esugo, and probably Kenda. I know Kenda will be joining, but some of these boys, I believe, some of them might go on loan, or some of them will be sold, which will be very, very bad because there are so many players in the midfield. You have Lavia, you have Casedo, you have Enzo Fernandez, you have a whole lot. Baku is also coming to join. So I don't think we'll be able to maintain all these players. Some of them will be going on loan, and it's rather unfortunate. But I still believe that next year, if Alonso is able to um, redesign the squad and also improve whatever we are lacking, we could just look for the title because it's been a long time. I think next year will be 10 years since we won the league, and this is about time for us to win the league. Even if we win the league and we don't win anything, I like it that way, and we should start becoming the champion team we all know. We should bring in some experienced players, and I believe at the end of the day, Chelsea will rediscover his, game, and things will be perfect.
Right. Thank you so much, Banks. I appreciate you for that contribution there. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat, then we'll go news hunting also. Tapsoba, Tavejo, again, doesn't believe that it's a deal that's going to happen. And we've talked about the Maresca situation. It looks like he and Man City will pay Chelsea some money. But yeah, I probably, maybe they wouldn't want it to drag on. If in fact, given what we've addressed already, that people close to Maresca are saying, yeah, that Chelsea could earn a sizable amount of money from Manchester City because they're the one that hired him. They're the ones that hired him. So Tabeja says that from tomorrow I am going to watch Bayer Leverkusen's game on the Xabi Alonso when they had unbeaten run. I've watched like 10,000 of them. They're crazy. Some I think some people actually change their name via let Kosen. So they nickname them to something, sort of let goes they get when you think, yeah, that's it, they're going to lose that one. Boom, they get a let equalizing goal, and then boom, get a winning goal. You need to watch it. 3 games or 4 per day will do. Per day? Oh, to watch? Okay, yeah, more like highlights. But you're talking about watching like 90 minute games. Okay, but Choma, thank you for joining. Let's see what else we have here. Maybe, really. We're a family of Chelsea fans. I get where you're coming from, but it doesn't really matter. There's something called sportsmanship. Even though you hate them, yeah, sometimes he's just gonna bite your tongue and grudgingly say, "Congratulations," but deep down you hate it. It happens. It's a human thing. It's not war. I get it. Calling them our enemies, for me, metaphorical, and nothing beyond that. Football is football. I wouldn't want them to win the Champions League, but in all honesty, they're more likely to win it than PSG for reasons I've explained. I hope not. And that's all I can say. All right. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. It's still 8:14 p.m. CST for me. I know it's morning already for a lot of you. And if that's the case, good morning to you. Let's see. We don't need Rudiger to win something. Get me Diamondi and Lacroix. Is that how you pronounce that? And we're good. Rudiger is not coming. Mourinho wants to keep him. He's Mourinho's type of defender. That aggression, that fighting spirit you see for him, that never die spirit is something that Mourinho cherishes a lot. Some managers would have told Madrid, yeah, he's too old, sign me a much younger player of the same ilk. But Mourinho wants him to stay. Why? His experience, he's a very aggressive player and good, considerably good on the ball, but an excellent defender. He's good aerially too. Big and good morning to you too, my bro, Jay. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Nightbot, Nightbot is a bot too. Yeah, Nightbot and Modman are both bots. Badia Sheila too. Let's see. Jay says, road to Europe, to Europa League for Chelsea FC. We must win, and Brighton draw, lose versus Manchester United. Villa should lose versus City, and Liverpool must win versus Brentford. Thank you for breaking that down for us. Send them all. They are embarrassing. Let's see what else we have here. So Maresca is going to City. No wonder. That's how I see it. I get it. I'm not saying that as sporting directors are sent, but I think we should actually share the blame because in this case, I'd say go 60-40. But yeah, I just don't want to go to the extent of, you could say, sharing the blames. I'd say he's not a saint. The sporting directors aren't saints either. Because yeah, for me, I feel betrayed because I love them so much, and also for the sporting directors, they made a mistake. I could have at least prioritized our spending in the summer. I get it. They will explain we had restrictions from UEFA that meant we didn't really sign all the players we want to sign, or led to us not signing all the players we want to sign. I get all that, but why not what happened to you? Prioritizing your spendings, focus on areas of need, and sign reinforcements for that area. But that's, by the way, another one for me. That's the one that makes me you can say miffed me maybe, is the fact that we didn't even try to convince him to at least, okay, we get it, you want to join Manchester City, at least finish the season with us. We didn't do that. That's annoying. And I argue that had we done that, he'd still be our manager. In all honesty, because losing him affected the mindset of the players to a considerable extent. But yeah, um, let's see. He says, I will sell Cucu in a heartbeat if he meant we will sign Hall, but I've no faith they will. They will. So I think Cucu stays, except if he wants to leave. But I think with the arrival of Alonso, Cucu stays. If anyone would leave, even after the arrival of Alonso, I think it'd be Enzo Fernandez. And I'm going to say something that I've said before already, because chances are, given you could say our agreement with UEFA to behave, to not do certain things, I think to follow certain rules. And I think those rules are still in place. I don't think we're out of the woods yet. If we need to sell players to be able to make purchases, good purchases in the summer, I get it. We still have a few players that we can sell and still make enough money to sign players we want. We have some numbers out there to sell. The truth remains, chances are Enzo Fernandez and his camp, they are well aware of our situation, or maybe suspect that, yeah, we might need to sell players to be able to make purchases. And then given the way he behaved, twerking for Real Madrid, I'd say I'll go to the extent of saying twerking naked for Real Madrid. He was on papers trying to force the club to put him in the category of the players that be open to sell come summer, because yeah, he's basically told them, given his behavior, that he wants to leave. You could say the same for João Pedro's camp, trying their luck to see, given our situation, that if should we be forced to sell players, they want their clients to count as one of those, would sell to make money, balance the books and make purchase. But I'm just speculating anyway. But who's to say that's not a possibility? All right. This is Vince's opinion. I like to read them, but I'm tired, really. Chelsea have expressed interest in signing Manchester City's Bernardo Silva. So there you go, Bands. Did you mention him when you were speaking? And that's from Marca. Marca is a huge account, huge sports outlet. But that's not to say if they side me Kool-Aid that I should drink it because they're Marca. I'm not sure whether to believe that we're seriously interested in signing him. I think probably he'd be open to going to Saudi Arabia. He's not getting any younger, and the fact that City let him run down his contract, I think he been living as a free agent, right? That's a sign, really. But yeah, but let's hear you. Let's hear you, Bans. Your thoughts.
Um, as I said earlier, Bernardo Silva is a very good player, well experienced. He has been in the Premier League for so long. He's something that we are missing, and if he was like he's able to join, I'll be so glad. It will improve the squad. Like you cannot imagine Enzo, Casedo, Bernardo Silva in the middle. That will be a huge improvement. So I believe this story is true, and if that is true, I'll be so happy. And sometimes players, as I told you, go to certain clubs because of certain people or because of the coach that is coming in. Obviously, maybe he might think that Alonso is someone he will be able to like trust in terms of his progress and everything. And as he's getting to the end of his career, he knows Chelsea is a football club. He can also achieve something with them because we are a football club that we are always winning something. So if he's able to join and he's able to win Champions League with us, that would be a huge achievement. So I believe he's not making any bad decision if this is true. And if it's true that we are also going in for him, I think it's a win for all the parties, and I
I
will
don't see
hope.
it happening, but that's just my opinion anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he will be able to come in because I believe he's all done with Man City. He has achieved everything with them. So what else are you like wasting your time by staying with them? And if he's not going to join Chelsea, obviously he might join Barcelona or maybe he could go to Real Madrid. Who knows? But he still got something. He's very experienced, and I'll be happy to have him in our squad.
Mm-hmm. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Listen. He's a player I like, a player I'd like us to sign, but I don't see it happening. I think first of all, even as we've heard from the owners, and maybe if you want to call them those briefs, that we're going to sign more experienced players. I don't think he's going to be one of them. The fact that he's left City, I don't actually see him staying in England. I think if anything, I think he's gonna if he I think he's probably gonna end up in Saudi Arabia or maybe Barcelona
I don't think so.
or
But
maybe Barcelona, but I
maybe
don't think he
Spain.
stays in England.
Yeah, maybe he can go to Spain, but who knows? Bernardo Silva could join Chelsea. That is why I'm saying that he might look at the coaches, both coaches, Maresca and Alonso. If I should play for any of them, who can I trust? Who brings a lot to my career, who is going to make me succeed. All these things will be, playing a role. And he has a lot of Portuguese in our side. All these things also play a huge role. So I don't think he's still a good player. If you look at him, he's a very, very good player. He's a player whenever he's on the ball, it's very difficult for you to like dispose him of the ball. He is very, very, very good. So if he should come in and improve our side, that would be perfect. But if he's not going to sign for Chelsea, then I believe obviously Spain will be his next destination, and I
I
don't
don't
think he's
see it
going to
happening.
sign.
I think his salary will almost always be an issue.
So like when is his contract going to end? At the end of this season?
I can't quite remember the story, but I think the rumors. I think I've seen something that suggests he will leave as a free agent. I think here's what's going to
Yeah.
happen. I think
So free agent,
he
I
ends
think
up in Spain, Barcelona,
free
Barcelona or Saudi Arabia.
free agent means we might get a good deal from him because if the clubs are involved, that is when the amount is so huge. But if you have Bernardo Silva saying, "Hey, give me like $5 million every season," why not? Just pay him, let him come and play for us. And I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Honestly, he's something that we are missing so bad, and if we are able to get him, he's going to improve. He's somebody he can also score. So can you imagine him in the center? Then maybe you can also play a fast one on Atleti by bringing in Alvarez, then give Ganacho and some other defenders to Atleti, add money to it. That would be a good thing for our team. But hey, we don't know what will happen, and I'll hope for something,
Yeah.
better. But I think they should just try their luck and see if it's able to like sign for Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would too, Jeremy. I love Barco. Barco has good vision, and Barco is actually more physical than Silva. And I think a lot of Chelsea fans don't rate him. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen conversations online. A lot of people, Chelsea fans, don't rate Barco, but Barco, I think we will look back and be happy we signed him. Hopefully, everything we've heard about him, that we already have a deal in place for Barco. The only thing that is left is an official announcement. Barco is such a fine player, and he's improved significantly. He's a much better, 10 times the player he was when he was at Brighton. He's learned quite a lot.
Yeah,
Played,
Bekuchi. The
yeah,
problem with Bako is he's still young, and most of us have been crying about experience. Although he was here with Brighton, nobody even knew him at the time. Honestly, it was just recently when he started making a lot of waves in Strasbourg. That is when I realized that he was even in England. And how is he going to adapt to the English game with League N and all those Bundesliga and at the other leagues? Sometimes it's a bit laid back. You can do whatever you want to do with the ball. You will be so good on the ball. But when it comes to the physicality of the English game, that's when it overwhelms a lot of players. Even experienced players come here and they struggle to adapt. So if you have someone who has already been here for more than, I think, almost 10 years, and he's leaving, and you have to compare him with Bako can come and add up to the numbers, but I would rather find confidence in, Bernardo Silva to be part of the first team than to be given the chance to Bako. Bako can understudy, Bernardo Silva and learn from him and get better as time goes on. But you can never trust him because we still need experienced, players, and we don't want to commit the same mistake every season without bringing in the experienced players. Look at the game Bayern Munich played with PSG when they narrowly lost to PSG. If it was some inexperienced team like Chelsea, there were no way they were going to like um recover from the huge goals that they conceded. But because Bayern has some experienced players, they were able to like score some of the goals, although they couldn't add up to tie or win that game. But because of the experience, they were able to find their way out there. So at the end of the day, we can bring in Baku, we can bring in all the top young talents out there. If you don't have the experience, it's going to be so hard for the squad. That is why most of these players are screaming. A lot of them think that they are doing a lot of, they are making efforts, but at the end of the day, because they are not playing around experienced players, things seem so difficult for them. And honestly, we need some of these experienced players to be around so that they can just help the younger players for them to get used to the game. And when things are going so bad, you need that top experienced player to, be screaming on some players who are just relaxing and they are not putting in the efforts. And this is where I think Bernardo Silva and some of these top experienced players will be the best fit for our football club. You know.
all right. We do need experience, but I still don't think Bernardo ends up in at Chelsea, even though Marca, uh, one of the biggest Spanish sports outlets. I still don't believe that's going to happen. But let's see what happens anyway. And we have Chelsea Blue here says, Coach, I saw Tuchel win a Champions League with Kyle, Werner, Mount, Imagine Alonso with Palmer, Steve, Pedro, Kenda. It can be scary, plus guts. the Ajax kid, which I suspect was serious about signing that kid. I think he's a Belgium international too, and that kid is good, really, really good. How old is Yamal and how old is Barco? Age shouldn't be an issue. Barco is good enough that I actually don't mind his age, but I get it. We can have both. Let's see. Good night to you too, Chama. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you stopping by to say, to be part of the conversation and also dropping a like on the video. I do believe you've done that already. And I see somebody from an area I love so much, Pennsylvania Blues. What's your opinion about the Oshiman rumors? Only Nigerian or an African would spell Osimhen like this. I'm gonna say this: I like Osimhen, and if the manager wants him, drop the check. You say, but I don't think it's happening. Um, I don't think it's happening. That's just my opinion. It could happen. If it happens, I'll take it. But if it happens, it simply would mean that the manager wants him because they've told us that they're going to give him the keys. It's going to be you can say he's going to have a huge say with regards to the players we end up signing in the summer, and the players we move on. That's an important part too. I think we're going to see a lot of outgoings. I like Osimhen as a player. Would he be again? Is he my preference if I had to be the one to choose? No, I prefer Victor Boniface, and I've explained why. Given the manager we have, if you've watched Leverkusen, uh, remember how Boniface operated. Yeah, they almost always a fluid approach in the attacking area. And sometimes you'd see Boniface dropping deep, participating in the play, creating for his teammates. Sometimes you see him on the flanks, on the left, on the right. And Boniface is a more complete player than Osimhen. Both are Nigerians, and I love them both. I followed Osimhen since his under 17 days, and I love him as a player. But if we have the option, and I'm asked to say, you say to help the club choose, I'd say Boniface. But there's also a problem there.
Kochi, let me say
He's
something.
almost he's
Let
hardly
me say
ever
something about
just 1 second.
Osimhen.
He's hardly ever fit. Almost always injured. But Pennsylvania Blues, if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. Feel at home. Express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. On Chelsea perspective, your opinion matters. Hardly ever a union, always a debate. Go ahead, Bans.
Yeah, Osimhen is a player who always wants to carry the team at his back, and it has a very negative, implications when you have a player trying to do everything. He's a winner. He wants to always win. He always wants to score. He's an individualistic, and sometimes he's so bad because if he perform all this, and at the end of the day somebody screw up, he's going to come for you, and that makes him somehow very selfish sometimes, because I watched him when he was so mad with his teammates after they tie with, I think, Benny or so, and it wasn't a pleasant one. And that would be a different situation if you should bring that kind of character to a football club like Chelsea, because there are also superstars out there. They are not going to allow you to disrespect them in any way. That you might be a very good guy, but when things go bad, you have to accept that you are all a collective, you're like individual in a very collective environment. So you shouldn't be upset. All you can do is take things so easy. So I believe his temperament, I don't know how he's going to play a role if he should join Chelsea, because sometimes he gets so overwhelmed and he behave in a very negative way. So me, regardless of how good he is, I still think that it would be very suicidal if he should join, and I would
I
prefer
actually
like
don't think he's
Alvarez.
coming to Chelsea. I think that
Yeah,
ship had sailed.
yeah.
Osimhen will not come to Chelsea.
Mm.
That's just my opinion. I think what we're seeing, you can say, well, it's happening again. When that situation where a lot of the big accounts or Twitter journalists, IT case, if you want. Uh, they are exploiting our vulnerability from the perspective of the fact that they've heard, they know that we're looking to make signings, probably up to 4 signings, and they know anything that suggests that Chelsea are interested in signing certain players will be attractive to Chelsea fans, and we're going to click out on all of them. So for now, we're not too sure the players that we're really looking to sign, honestly. But as I've said, even though I trust Marca, I don't see Bernardo Silva coming to Chelsea. But it doesn't hurt to try. They say if you don't buy tickets, you're never gonna win a lottery. So you don't know.
And they should also be very careful with the way they will jam into getting a player right after the World Cup, because sometimes World Cup is a place where a lot of players exhibit all the things that are in them, and they will look so good at that tournament. But whenever you go in for them, they are not the same players you watch during the World Cup. So we have to be very, very careful the kind of players we'll be monitoring at the World Cup, because I know that is when a lot of the dealings will be happening, and some of these players will impress you a lot because they need to, change their clubs, and they have to also impress, sporting directors. So if we are supposed to like target some players out there, it should be players that we've been monitoring over the past weeks, and we are sure that they can, fit into our system. But other than that, we shouldn't just rush into buying players where we think they are performing so good, and at the end of the day, it might also like affect us in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to check something here. I'll be right back with you. All right, thank you. All right, what else do we have here? And Wycliffe Barrish here. I actually skipped it unknowingly, but I looked at on the control window and I saw your comment at the bottom. So yeah, Wycliffe Barrish says, are Blue Co going to stick to their wage structure next season? It's definitely influence the type of players we sign. And will Xavi really get the players he wants? I think Xavi will get the players he wants. Not even second choices. I'm confident we will get the players he wants. His first choices. Why? Because they would want to play under him. He's unique. They would want to play under him. And we're talking about Chelsea. And in all honesty, irrespective of our shortcomings, we still have a very good squad. Nobody can take that fact away from us. We still have a very good squad, but we've been, you could say, being the architect of our own issues. But I'm glad that, yeah, we've been promised change. And hiring Alonso points to the fact that, yeah, we're serious about doing things differently. So, right now, okay, to the aspect where you asked if they're going to stick with it, I think they will. Because doing things, you could say, differently would mean going back to the drawing. You could say will lead to when it's time to renew the contract of the players we already have within our ranks. They'd be seeking to measure or get something close to, or maybe get something better than what we are paying the newcomers. So already, actually, a lot of them have signed improved contracts, which means they're now earning a higher salary that they've been earning before. If Enzo Fernandez ends up signing a new contract, he'd be earning nearly twice as much as he's already earning. So actually, and the truth remains, it's not like we don't pay well. We pay well, but the salaries are heavily incentivized. It's structured in a manner that you earn what you work for. It's not like you earn certain stable amount week in, week out, irrespective of how badly we're playing, irrespective of how poor we are, or irrespective of whether we make European, you could say we'll finish in the top four or not. That's just the difference. We pay well, but heavily incentivized. And we've been lucky to sign players who were eager to join us because we're Chelsea Football Club and at the time haven't had so much exposure, which means they would join us with the aim of, if in the future, if I don't get the salary I want, I'd go maybe because it's Chelsea, probably will have enough exposure that I'd be attracting to say suitors or big name suitors. So yeah, give me 1 second. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? So that's my opinion on that. And Chelsea Blue 881 says, Coach, I thought, okay, I think we've addressed that one, but I had to go back because I see I missed a comment from Wycliffe Barrett there. Good night to you too. I already said that. All right, let's see. Yeah, I've dealt with it. Apologies for that. It wasn't on papers. And Chelsea 881 says, Coach, I have never felt this way about a coach since Toko. Alonso may change our lives, actually. He will change our lives in service. I think he will. And I think we've also, again, decided that, you know what, we've given him the key. Says, you know what, you be the driver. We're going to be the passenger this time. Just do your thing, and that makes me happy. Would Pennsylvania Blue says would genuinely love Chelsea to sign either Mika Gods and or Christos Zolis. I'm quite sure that's how you pronounce it. Two very exciting left-wing profiles with quality flair and a huge upside for the future. And who's to say we're not looking at them? It's our thing. Chances are we're already making moves to sign them. You understand? Um, let's see what else we have here. Anything else to address? So we're going back to news hunting, and we're gonna call it. You can say Vance is still here. So Eli, is that Eli or Eli? Junior Krupi, how do you pronounce that? Has also been scouted by Chelsea and Real Madrid. He's such a fine finisher, really. Such a talent. I don't know. If you're in the chat, your thoughts on Chelsea's interest, reported interest on Eli Junior Krupi. Not a bad player, in my opinion. And I don't want to read Mahrez speaking on how he had to choose City because he could have gone to Chelsea, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to know. Bans, your thoughts. Do you know this player and would you like to see him
Yeah,
at Chelsea?
I think he's a good player, and um honestly, I don't think he's the kind of player we want right now. I've seen him scoring some important goals for Bournemouth, and he reminds me of Mason Greenwood, his style of play and everything. But at this point, is he the kind of player you want, or you want someone more experienced and more like better? And some of these boys, when they are in some of these small clubs, the pressure is not that enough. They can do whatever they want to do. They perform so good. But the moment they come to a big club, that is when the problem starts. So is he mentally ready to join a big club where the pressure will be on you, and going like 2 games without scoring will put a lot of pressure on you? These are some of the questions we have to ask. For the fact that he's doing so well with Bournemouth doesn't mean he will just come in and start performing wonders. And that is why we have to be very careful. The like of Pato, Andriy Shevchenko, Higuain, and Falcao all came around. and it wasn't that easy for them to do so well with our football club. So I think he's still young. I will give him an extra season. Start doing something, start doing thorough, monitoring and see if he's really going to improve the squad. But just don't jump for the fact that he has been scoring some important goals and he will just come in and will be doing wonders. So me, if I were the directors, I would just wait for an extra season and see whether this season was really his best season or it was just one of those things where players can perform this season and they will be faded out. So I wouldn't jump in bringing him. I would rather go in for somebody upgraded, striker who will come in and better the squad. Yeah, so I mean that is I mean it's good for us to be linked with him, but I don't think generally I will be happy when he joins us right now. Honestly.
I mean, let's see. Let's see again what the club does in the summer. It's already upon us, in my opinion. And let's see. Krupi is a better choice in case Enzo leaves. All right. Anything else here? I love Tati Castellanos, Western striker, much better than Boniface. Really? Okay. It's a possibility. I haven't actually compared their numbers anytime to see who's better. I don't want to read this from Riyad Mahrez. Would you take Bernardo Silva at Chelsea? I'd say yes. But I was seriously interested in signing him. I don't believe that, really. And are we going to sign him? I don't believe that. But if we sign him, I'd take him. His experience makes a difference, will help nurture the younger players. This is Bands already said. And if the club must sign one of these two players, I'd say sign Granit Xhaka for reasons I've explained. He worked under Xabi Alonso. He's one of the players. One of his players that particular season they won the Bundesliga without losing a single game, and he was one of his main. He was one of the mainstays in the team actually, and he's
And
a,
Shaka has done so well with Sunderland. They are one of the stubborn teams out there, and
He's
yeah,
actually scored plenty of goals for them this
yeah,
season. Yeah.
this season he has improved from Sunderland so well that I wouldn't mind bringing him. He also has been here for some
Chances are we're
time, and
looking at signing him. You never know.
yeah,
Because
so
here's why I'd rather we sign him over Bernardo Silva is this. He will make Alonso's, you could say, he'll make it a lot easier for Alonso to implement his approach because he understands how he likes to play. He understands how he likes, you could say, sixes or eights, how he likes them to operate.
and
So,
when it comes to the physical aspect, he's very strong. So if you have him and Casedo in the same game, you can just imagine how tight that midfield will be, and they can do a lot of things. Yeah, so he wouldn't be a bad signing though. He's also an experienced player, you know.
yeah, I don't think it's going to be yeah, I agree with you, but Um, we could be looking at him, and we've heard that we're going to sign experienced players. We don't know who at this point. There are a few names being mentioned, like what's the other guy from West Ham also. I like him. I think he's underrated, but Chelsea fans, that name has to be fancy and very popular before they, you can say, before they respect the name. But we'll always be the first to start screaming how Man City signed a certain player for just £45 million, but we went and paid 16 million for the other player. But if you ask Chelsea fans before we make those signings, they say, yeah, go for it, pay the money, and take the player. Yeah. He's looking to fight with Mount Mana. Is he sleeping? Oh, did I turn off auto response? Jeremiah, Jeremy, are you fighting with him? I could let me try and force him to respond to you. Where is it? He's asking what manner are you sleeping? Oh my gosh. Let me force him to respond to you. Let's see if it does. Auto respond on? I hope he responds. I'm not sure if I respond, but it could be. It did. All right. Okay, you responded. What else do we have here? We should call it a day. I'm tired myself. I need to sleep because I would want to do the Blue Morning Show. Robert Sanchez talking about the time we had to prepare for the game against uh, Tottenham. Um, Robert Sanchez and Xavi Alonso's arrival. He says, I am very happy, same as the rest of the boys with Alonso. We are going to get some stability in the squad. He's a top manager. He plays great football. Um, we are looking forward already for next season training with him. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen, football wise, and from what I hear of him and his staff, they look like top people and a top manager. So, again, we are delighted with him and we cannot wait to start next season. They like him. Yoro Hato also about Xavi Alonso. Hato says, I think Chelsea made a good decision to get Xavi Alonso. I am excited. I knew him as a player and watched him growing up at Liverpool and at Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. He did very well at Leverkusen and they became champions. And he was at Real Madrid. He's a big name, so I am very excited. I've played in a back three and back four. For me, I don't care about where I get to play. I just want to play. But that kid is good and deserves to be playing. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Yeah, Hato, this kid is just, I think he's 20 now, but what a player he is. Hato, the first couple of months weren't easy. It was a difficult time as a player, but in the last couple of months, I've felt more myself and I am showing the quality I showed at Ajax. I think I've improved a lot and my confidence is growing now. I love the kid. I love him. Anything else? Yeah. Got spoiled. I don't want to start paying attention to him. Okay. Anything emerge? Nothing new. I think that's about it. Okay, this one here. Moises Caicedo versus Andreas Santos in the Premier League this season. Ground duels per 90 minutes. Caicedo is averaging 4.8 and what's his name? Andreas Santos averaging 2.3. 68% success rate. And Caicedo has a 60% success rate, but he's trying a lot more of it of that. But not bad, really. All right. That's it. Vance, anything else before we call it a day? I'm tired, man. I need to go get some sleep.
Yeah, I think Sunday is going to be an interesting day. One of the landing teams will definitely go to relegation, and I mean, it will be so difficult for me to see Kudos playing in the championship next season. That would be very, very bad. He's a top player, and I believe, regardless of how I hate Tottenham, I will wish them all the best, and maybe, probably, they can survive this one. They
I
have
mean,
their
it's
own,
50-50 now.
yeah, they have their own, destiny in their own hand. Go out there, get a 3 points, and you are
Who are
still in
they
the
playing
Premier League.
next?
I think they are playing with Everton. They are going to play with
Ooh.
Everton. I don't know whether David Moyes having like connection with West Ham will make it very difficult for um Tottenham. But Zebi is a very smart person, If he can also grab 1 point, at least he was still going to stay because West Ham want them to lose their game against Everton, and if
And it's
they
a possibility. And it's
yeah,
even
if they are
more
able to,
dangerous because they
mm,
have to
yeah,
come
it's a
out
must
and
win for
play.
West Ham, and I don't know who they are going. I think they are playing with is it Brentford or no? West Ham is playing with some team, but I know Tottenham is playing with Everton, and they just need a draw. If they get a draw, regardless of what the results or the outcome of the results of West Ham, they are still going to be at the Premier League. So it's going to be an interesting Sunday for the top teams. Everything has been settled down, so the competition now is focusing on the relegation zone. It's going to be an interesting Sunday, and I wish all teams all the best.
I it's difficult to say where I think they're gonna finish, but they're in
But
trouble.
I suspect West Ham to go to relegation.
They
Comparing
might not. Nuno is an excellent tactician. They started well, and you can say
hey,
that win we did well against them, but with a bit we had to beat them with a bit of luck.
can, can you imagine both teams were going to play to decide their fate? That would have been more, that would have been more fun. But as it stands right now, honestly, I think Tottenham can do everything possible to avoid, any defeat in their own background. They are going to play at home, so at least the home support is going to be there. So I think 70-30, I'll give it to Tottenham. They might stay, and
I
West
think
Ham
it's
might.
50-50. The fact that Leeds,
Mm.
thank you for that information, Jeremy. And the fact that West Ham is playing Leeds, I think Leeds, they probably have nothing to lose right now. Uh, yeah, Everton still have a chance. Let me see for European football. Let me look at that again, because that will make a whole lot of difference.
Trust me, Coachy, Tottenham can beat Everton playing them at home.
I will
Most
explain to
likely.
you. Listen, we were here yesterday. We were here talking about, I think, a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
Everton can 52 points. No, no European football. It's not gonna happen. They have nothing to lose. Leeds have nothing to lose. But Moyes, um, he's an excellent tactician, underrated in my opinion. I think he will explore Tottenham's need for win effectively. He will exploit that effectively because Tottenham, they will risk a lot on that day.
Yeah, I mean, he has connection with West Ham, and maybe for the love of West Ham, he will say, "Hey, let me go beat Tottenham for West Ham to stay." Loyalty always, comes across once in a while. So I don't know how it's going to go, but you have a Tottenham team who is not doing bad. De Zerbi is doing something out there. They will fight so hard just not to, concede any goal. For them to get 1 point to stay in the Premier League, trust me, they will do everything possible. That's why I see West Ham for the first time in so many years going to the championship, and it's rather unfortunate. And I don't know how they can go and quickly come back after 1 year or after one season. Most of the time, if you go and you are able to come back quickly, you can just, um should I say, recover from that kind of situation. But if you go to the championship and all your top players, because I've seen a lot of teams going it for Bowen. I think Man U have already started looking into Bowen situation, and there are so many good players out there who might decide to like leave West Ham, and that would be very, very, very difficult time for the team. So let's see what happens. And I believe Sunday is going to be like a very wonderful, time.
All
And
right.
I can't wait to watch those games.
All right, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to Jeremy for joining. I appreciate you. Wycliffe Barish was here. Was here. Ebro, my bro, was also here. And the Pennsylvania Blues was also here. Who else was here? And of course, Jay was here. And on the panel with me, Bands and Choma in the chat. And if I miss your name, apologies. See you guys next time. God bless us all. Cheers.
Stand. I carry that crest in my hand, rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end. Blue till the end, we rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Let the whole ground shake, let the whole world know. We don't chase a moment, we are the home. Hands up high, voice up loud. Same old pride, same crowd. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. Yeah. Ooh. Blue till the end, blue till the end. Loyalty stays even through the storm. From the bridge to the stand, I carry that crest in my hand. Rain on my shoulders, still I stand. Tell me who wears it like we can. Mud on the boots, heart of gold. Those stories living in the cold. Every name that the walls still hold. I was born for this, I was told. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold. Blue till the end, blue till the end. We rise again, we rise again. Blue till the end, blue till the end. This is our name, this is our skin. When the pressure comes down hard, we don't flinch, we play our part. Every scar on the back says more than 1,000 songs before. From the first whistle to the last, we remember where we came from fast. No throne, no crown, no borrowed fame, just a city calling out that name. Hear that roll in the air, feel that fire everywhere. We don't bend, we don't fold. We were cut from that blue gold.